On Free Comic Book Day 2011, a new Sonic comic was given out. This comic should have given me the happiness like the ones from the past several years have. But as I read this issue, I was just filled with hate. For the story in this comic has unlocked a part of mine where I kept all my hate for bad Sonic comics. Bad ones, such as this one, which the story in the Free Comic Book Day issue was just a retelling of the same story. So before I give in my thoughts on the new, I should give in my thoughts in the old. In this, the first episode of
Perspective.
Super Sonic Special number 15. Here is the cover, with pencils done by Sonic art god Spaz. From a distance, it looks good, but at a closer look, it appears to be sort of a knockoff of a Samurai Jack cartoon. The first page, I must say, is the best looking one. I don't know why I'm back. This place doesn't exactly hold the best memories for me. Actually, I do know why I'm back. I just had to pay my respects to Eddie. We came in search of the ugly wizard, Exis Nagus. Who is this guy that Sonic is after? Well, luckily, Sonic SatAM has a clip to explain his backstory.
I am Nagus, a sorcerer. Recall me from the void in 1 hour, Robot. And should you have any thoughts of betrayal... It's very, very good, Nagus.
Trust me, Nagus. I carry no such thoughts.
I should hope not. Have I made my point, Doctor?
Oh, a safe journey, Nagus. Activating Void. Snively, disable all retrieval programs.
But sir, didn't you just...
Now!
Yes, sir.
Rule number 1, Nagus. Never trust anyone. Especially me.
That brought us here to this castle in the southern tundra where an old hermit, Nate Morgan, and his protector Eddie lived. Old Exis thought he could steal all of Nate's power ring supply in the castle. We used the rings to turn into our superselves to fight an ultra-powered Exis. We worked together to beat him back to the Forbidden Zone. In Sonic Comics, there were a few Forbidden Zones, but they were just there because the writers didn't exactly know what to do with those places at the time. The thing is, Nagus was in a place that already had a name, which was called the Zone of Silence, from when it was first mentioned all the way back in issue 24, and was called that ever since. Really past time for a new writer. Also, the writer of this story wrote all the other Sonic stories where the Zone of Silence was mentioned and appeared in, too. And then everything caved in Eddie. And Eddie. He died. So Sonic paid his respects by placing a rose on the ground. Then Sonic is kindly enough to tell us that he's falling by a cave-in, which the reader could clearly see. Now for another big reason that this story sucks. The art. The art so far was passable for a Sonic comic. But for the next 4 pages, there's nothing. All black. As Sonic thinks to himself. Well, Sonic sees a light coming from a hole. One spin dash later, Sonic finds himself saying, "It's a whole mess of power rings." Yeah, we see that. I don't remember using them to turn myself into Super Sonic, but Nate told me I was the man. Ugh, bad writing. Really bad writing. Here we go, people. As many people who play the games will know that Super Sonic is yellow. While in the original story back in issue 66, Sonic became Ultra Sonic, who was just blue with little shiny stars around him. When Sonic is Super Sonic, he's able to retain his memory. But apparently when he becomes Ultra Sonic, he will forget it, as it is mentioned here, and nowhere else. So he had to rely on Nate telling him that he became Super Sonic. But I'm pretty sure Nate could easily tell the difference between yellow and blue. Unless he's colorblind. It got pretty gnarly when Tails and I passed out, and it was up to Nate to toss Nagus back into the Forbidden Zone. Forbidden Zone again. It won't stop here. I can use them to get out of this hog hole. All I need to do is use a couple of these to wish. Wish? Wish? What is this, a Disney movie? Come on. Quickster. Nagus. Flash! One speedy superhero to another. Interesting. What did I just do? Did I just wish for Nagus? That's right, Quickster. You did. Or at least I tricked you into doing it.
No. It's not true. That's impossible!
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
No! No!
This is not how you write Sonic as the hero. Sure, he tends to move faster than he thinks, but he's not that easily duped. He's hardly ever duped at all, because he's still a super fast thinker. There are many other characters in the Sonic universe that could have been tricked into releasing Nagus. Oh no, such as Knuckles the Echidna, who's got tricked in practically every other Sonic game. Shadow the Hedgehog, who has trouble keeping track of his memory, so he practically believes almost anybody who tells him what to do. King Acorn, who at one point hired 3 separate advisors at the same time, each of whom had their own plan to overthrow the king and take over the world.
Of course!
And then there's...
So what are we looking for, Uncle Chuck?
Chuck. I got a list of problems with him, but that's a video for another day. Oh, but it is. All Nate did was pull the power rings out of my body to send me back. However, I still had my mental connection to them. As soon as someone began to use them, I was able to turn it to my purpose. I like to point out here that for practically the rest of the story, the background keeps changing and always just looks horrible. This is just the start where you just get the simple one color background to help show off the badly drawn and colored characters. You may have tricked my spiny butt ugly, but I will make sure you go back the way you came. Really. I like to see that, especially when I can do this! You're not the only one with superpowers. That's right, Rodent. Run, run, as fast as you can, for my vengeance will all be consuming. Yeah. You mock me at your peril? Hadouken! Yikes. He almost had me fried right there. You may have avoided my blast of fire and brimstone. However, I am master of the elements. Now experience the overwhelming power of a snowstorm. No thank you. I can do without a trial run. Hey Nagi, can't we talk about this? Okay, so Sonic was willing to negotiate with Nagus now. That's not good. Makes it worse. Well, for the next 6 pages, all we get is snow, 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 totally covering up everything. So add these 6 pages to the 4 pages of blackness. That's a total of 10 pages of absolutely nothing in this 48-page special with ads. And as was pointed out to me by Shoujo Love, that as you look at the page further back enough, you can see that all the panels are just really parts of a bigger image of swirling snowflakes. And as for the stupid Deus Ex whatever and all, turned out that Sonic had a ring he placed in his pocket before he was tricked into wishing Nagus into the world. No long wishes, no mambo jumbo. Just go back now. No. No! This shall not be the last time. Mark my words, Speedster. We will meet again. We will meet again. Do you hear me, Sonic? Do you... Yeah. And the hog wins again. I wasn't going to give up after the trouble we went through to send you back to the Forbidden Zone. Again! Forbidden Zone! Ken Penders, you were the writer of all the other Zone of Silence stories. What happened? Is this where you actually started to lose your mind and so they stopped listening to you? Has to be. Really. Of course, I don't have any more rings, and I'm not going back into that hole to get another one. These are super powerful magic rings that grant wishes. You know his tricks now. You could totally not wish him back. And if you do get stuck in a hole, you can wish yourself out of it like you were originally planning. Of course, somehow, he magically got out of the hole himself. Who cares? I didn't come here to get rings. I came here to pay my respects to Eddie. I just hope that he knows, wherever he is, that his sacrifice is not in vain. Thanks, Eddie. Bad art. Bad writing. Bad continuity also. Of course, I could go with the bad writing. And, wow, the bad editing too. I gotta say, inking was okay. That's until they went overboard with the whole blah. This was the last of the 48-page specials to date. As a regular issue at the time cost about $2, this was $2.50. You know, extra pages, so they get to charge you extra money since there's extra ads. This comic wasn't a total loss, as after that story, there was Sonic Spin City, a little black and white tale that was homage to Sin City. It's not bad, but it's a bit pointless. You could just pretty much place this anywhere in the Sonic storylines. And in the back is a pinup done by Spaz, which must have been a bastard to color in because of all the white for all the snow. I hate this comic! After I read that, I put it away in the bottom of a box. And I totally left it there for since it came out, which has been a decade now. Oh my dang. Why, even the Sonic Spin City story was so good that for a while Archie had it for free to read on their website. Well, now I'm done with the old. Next up, people, it's the new.